I know they hope I fall. But
What up, what up, what up? We up at Beauty and the Beat right now, radio, and I got a surprise guest in here for you, Miss Grammy nominated, well educated, Charlie Baltimore. What's going on, Charlie?
I'm great.
Applause. You're great.
Yeah, I'm great.
So, what brings you to LA? I heard you were shooting a video.
Yeah, we shot it all day Sunday. It came out really dope.
Bed full. What is it?
It's Bed Full of Money.
Bed full of money. That's how I want to wake up every morning,
right,
to a
me
bed
too.
full of money. That's what I'm talking about.
That was the whole concept of the song.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so first off, I want to congratulate you on being honored at the Ladies of Hip Hop Awards last month.
Thank
How was
you.
that experience?
That was dope. I
Was
got all
dope?
teared up.
You did?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Because you've really been in the game a long time, and it's so hard for some women to just, like, stay in the game and just stay, like, as relevant. And every time I look at something that you've done, it's so, like, good. Like, so where are you going with your album right now? Do you have any release dates coming?
We didn't really set like a full release date because with me, like I like to just kind of work at my own pace.
Mm-hmm.
And certain things inspire me, certain places inspire me. So Cali's been inspiring me recently. So we definitely got to make a trip out here where I can just work.
Work.
Yeah.
So you're from Philadelphia, but your B&B label is based out of Detroit. How did that come together?
Well, I was in Detroit, and I met some incredible people out there, one of which is my business partner, Peanut.
Okay.
And he had really kind of was just off. He was into music like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then he kind of took a hiatus from it. And I guess I kind of inspired him to want to go back and do it. So when we got into it, we went into it on from a partnership perspective. And we
Like
started
meaning
the
partner
label.
and to get other artists, or partnership just
well,
okay.
both, because initially it was just my project we were working on, but I mean, with my project and with us working on it, we met other artists, aspiring artists, and so we just decided to go full-fledged with the B&B label, and it really just took off. Like, so
you
it's
have
dope.
other artists that you're working with?
Yes.
So who are you working with?
I'm actually working with Cash Paid. He's an artist out of Detroit. We also have a guy named Midwest Rico. He's from Detroit as well. He's really dope.
Okay.
And we have an artist from Memphis who is a producer, a known producer, named Lil Lucci Lodi. He's done a lot of like Rick Ross, Young Jeezy, Yo Gotti stuff. But he's looking to go into the artist part of the industry. So.
Okay, so we met you. You were introduced by Lance Rivera. But I don't remember. How did you meet Biggie? Is it because of that introduction? Or
Big and Un were business partners first. I met Big first, and him and Un had Undias together.
Okay.
Through Atlantic.
Right.
And then Big's idea was to form a group, like a super group called The Commission.
Okay.
And that would have entailed myself, him, Little C's, Puff, and Jay-Z. But then due to his death, we obviously weren't able to, see it come to life. And then Un kind of just picked up where Big left off. So when Big passed away, Un came to me and was like, I know what Big's vision was, and I know what he would have wanted, and that was my brother. So I just want to kind of, carry the torch for him. So he started actually a whole separate label with Sony called Entertainment.
Okay.
And his first artists were me and Cameron.
Okay. So I didn't hear you mention Little Kim's name. Do you have?
Well, she wasn't on. She was on their Undia's label.
Okay.
She wasn't on the Entertainment label. The Entertainment label was a whole separate entity. Undia's was through Atlantic.
Okay.
And that's where Kim and Junior Mafia were.
Right.
And then Entertainment was through Sony, Epic, and
okay.
that's where me and Cameron were. So it was two totally separate deals.
So was it ever like a beef or something, or y'all just just work separately?
Yeah, just totally separate.
Okay. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about fashion, because we do talk about beauty and the beat here. How is it that you get your fashion set? I was checking you out on Instagram. Honey, Miss Thing brings it on the red carpet. I was like, every picture was like, yes, yes. I don't know what red carpet that was. I saw you in a Balmain outfit. It was like silver.
Yeah,
I was like, you bring
one.
it. Like, I was like, do you have any fashion aspirations? Or I know you have a daughter that is modeling.
Yeah, I have a daughter. She's actually a really big model. I think it's just something that's already in me. I don't really feel like fashion sense is something that, people can learn. I feel like you either kind of have it or you don't.
Right.
I just know what I like. It doesn't necessarily have to be designer, but, if it does, that's just all the more better. And then, with me, I'm not really good with working with a stylist that doesn't see my vision as well. So I have a stylist that I've actually known for a long time, and we're just really good with complimenting each other.
Okay.
So it kind of just goes like that. It usually works out for the best.
Okay. So we see a lot of reality TV shows on right now. And for some, that's a great platform to launch their career or to relaunch their careers. Do you ever see that as an opportunity for yourself?
I've been approached. You know, I've auditioned. I just, you know, my personality, I don't know if it would do well with an ensemble cast.
Right.
If I was to do a reality show, I think it would be better, more focused on what I'm actually doing with my label or my daughters or something that's just more
that you can have control over.
Yeah. If I don't have control over it and it's an ensemble thing and they're creating drama and things of that sort, I'm not going to do well with that.
Right.
That's not going to work for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any collaborations that, like, you've worked with so many notable people, are there any collaborations that you would like say that you haven't worked with yet? Because we didn't even discuss that you went from the Undeezen situation to Murder Inc. So how did that even come about? I skipped a step. Like, how did that come about?
Oh, man. I think that, you know, with the entertainment situation, I was really young. And, you know, you rapping amongst your friends and, you know, me being from Philly, rapping in Philly, and going into an actual studio setting and deal without really knowing any of the mechanics of the business or anything. I just don't really feel like I was ready. I think it was fault on both ends. But if you're not ready, you're not ready.
But it introduced you to the game.
It did.
It did.
And then, you know, with that album, we got kind of towards the tail end of the album, and wanted to bring in Irv Gotti, who at the time was just, you know, partnering into Def Jam with the whole Murder Inc. situation.
Right.
But he, you know, had introduced Jay-Z to Def Jam. He had introduced DMX to Def Jam. So he was, you know, well respected amongst his industry peers. And his initial goal with that was to just get some records from Irv. But when Irv heard me rap, he was kind of blown away, like, well, who's writing your stuff? And I'm like, I write it. And he was like, there's no way you're writing this stuff.
Right.
So he kind of put me like in a rap boot camp, so to speak. And after we were done with the boot camp, he was like just kind of like blown away, like, I don't know what to do here. And I was really kind of done with my label. He kind of helped me get out of my deal. And for a while, I wasn't signed with Irv. I was doing a lot of writing for his other artists. I was just, you know, going in the studio and rapping with him and featuring on different songs or whatever. And then he just wound up intervening and was like, we got to put her on a record. And that's how Down Ass Bitch came about. And then they wanted to do the video. Once we did the video, he had to sign me. Because if he didn't, somebody else would definitely going to.
That's one thing I wanted to say about your videos. I went and checked out some of your videos online. I think it was one I saw with, is it a Trick? Is that, am I saying it correctly?
Yeah, Trick.
And they're kind of like mini feature films. Or do you have any film aspirations? Because you've done a lot of I know you've been on soundtracks.
I've done a lot of film, actually. I've done like 7 or 8 movies. I actually have an agent out here, and I have 2 films that I'm actually, one is a film and one is an actual kind of like a series that we're going to be doing. I'm going to be working with Damian Douglas. He's a pretty well-known black producer from out here. So, yeah, I like the film thing a lot.
So I was impressed by the mini feature. I have him, DJ Rock, we have that pulled up on there. Is there a way we can kind of play that? Do you mind if I show that video?
Not at all.
I loved it. So can you introduce it for me?
Are we playing, I'm assuming we're playing B&B?
B&B, of course. I'm not going any, B&B.
Oh, that's good because it's endearing. So this was actually the first video we shot with B&B as the label.
Okay.
It's myself featuring Trick, and also Clifton Powell, who's a great actor and a good friend of mine.
And she has some badass shoes on in there.
I do.
I was like, oh my God, I love her fashion sense. Like, she's so fashionable. What kind of shoes are those?
Those were Walter Steiger.
Love them. Check that. So we were finishing up our conversation with Charlie Baltimore right here. And we're just going to say, what? Okay. We're just going to talk about some other news going on and introduce our next guest. So I don't want you to go away because we do have a song coming up from you, which is called The Bed Full of Money that you just shot the video for.
Yes,
so
crazy video.
crazy video with crazy fashion once
I
again.
know, I'm half naked in the video.
I saw something
For
gold.
a change.
Saw something gold.
Yeah, I never quite took it that far. It's like, all right, why not?
You giving
might
them
as well.
something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Giving them a lot, actually.
All right. So, in other music news, we know we have the Soul Train Music Awards coming up. Do you have any? Are you going to attend that?
Not this year. I went last year.
You went last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
This year I'm working, so.
Okay.
But congrats to everyone at the Soul Train Awards and all the nominees.
And all the
performers.
nominees. Okay. Beauty and the Beat Radio right now. And if you just tuning in, I have Charlie Baltimore in the house with me. Hello, Charlie. Grammy nominated. She came from Undies. I know you know her from the Junior Mafia days.
Entertainment.
On Entertainment days, to her Murder Inc., to her now current label situation, B&B Entertainment. We have a new single from her that we want to introduce that she just shot the video for. We got a lot going on with you.
Yeah, we do.
You have a lot going on.
Good stuff, good stuff.
Good stuff, good stuff. And some other music-related news, we have, I guess T.I. just released an album, and I saw him do, when the Atlanta Hawks did their opener, he performed, and everybody got hyped. There was so many people in the audience. What do you feel about our Lakers right now?
They got some work to do. I mean, you're only gonna be a Laker fan. You got to take them when they're good or bad. So they got some work to do. So don't put them down.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed Taylor Swift is breaking music records this week. She sold over like 1.3 million records in like 1 week. They said nobody's done that since Eminem. And when she found out, I guess she released a video on Instagram where she was rapping, and she was, what's that song by Kendrick Lamar, like damn I feel amazing, damn the something. Like she totally was rapping it and knew like every word. I was like, when did like Taylor Swift like just turn into T Swift and be like, she's so hip. Yeah. But it's really interesting. On the same day, it's like, remember when Kanye just like, I don't mean to take your shine, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beyonce, on the same day that her news was announced that she just sold 1.3 million albums, Beyonce
She's
said
on Forbes top women.
she's number one, 115 million.
Yeah.
And she announced that she's going to be releasing, I guess, an album full of her platinum hits. So, once again, Beyonce upshines Miss Taylor Swift. Another thing about Taylor Swift, she's on The Voice right now. Are you watching? Do you watch any of the music shows? Do you?
I don't really get a chance to.
No?
Mm-mm.
You're not a fan of like any of them?
No.
What about reality shows? What about like the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
I'm more like into like shows like that are like Sons of Anarchy and Boardwalk Empire. I know.
Oh, you like
Yeah, I
that
like that kinda
complex.
stuff.
Your mind
I
is
do.
always going.
Yeah.
I can tell by your videos that your brain is working.
So let me ask you: if they asked you to be a one of those, what does it call it?
Real
A judge.
Housewives.
A judge.
Oh, a
on one of
judge.
those-
That would be
on one of
great.
those shows, would you do it? Because they're paying good money.
Yeah, maybe a judge for musical talent. Definitely.
What do you think of the Ladies of Hip Hop show? What is that called? I think it's called something about hip hop.
Someone told me to look into it and watch it, but I still haven't got a chance.
You haven't
to watch
seen
it.
it?
I heard it was pretty good. Though.
It is pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's a
haven't seen it.
sisterhood of hip hop. That's
Okay.
what I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mispronounce it. I just couldn't. It didn't come to mind right there.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to watch it.
I think it's like about 5 females. They're all rapping. They're all trying to either start the career or just do something, and they come together. And then they have like a host. I mean, a coach.
Okay,
I think you would make a great coach.
that's dope.
Like a
That's
mentor.
actually dope. Yeah.
Okay, and another thing that happened this week is what's up with Chris Brown and his anger management? You know, he just he went off on Tamar and Adrienne Bailon of the Reels talk show. He called her, I'm not going to even repeat it because it was very, very mean. But, I mean, if you check TMZ, it was totally really, and she came back for him to say, like, he has some anger management issues. I think it started off when she mentioned, why is Karrueche, like, still with him? So, I don't know. I hope they, like, get it together and not do all that. So, I want to talk, I want to play some music from you, some more music from you. The video you just shot is called
Bad Full of Money.
Bed Full of Money. And it's about what in the video? What's taking place in the video? What can we look forward to seeing? Look at that
a lot
smirk.
of Charlie.
A lot of Charlie.
A whole
What?
lot of Charlie.
But what are you doing? Like, tell me what's going on.
just-
What's the plot?
I just felt like I was really comfortable with the director, and when we met, I just liked his energy and his spirit, and a lot of the concepts he came up with were a little risque from previous things I've done. But because of the comfort level, and he has a movie background, and a couple of movies that he's done, I was like huge fans of. I was like, let's just do it.
So who is the director?
His name is Jeff Reyes. He worked a lot. I'm a huge horror movie buff.
Okay.
And he worked a lot on Saw, which is the first one, which is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. Well, gruesome movies, I should say. But I just was open off of his, like I said, his energy and just the way he approached the song, where it wasn't based around my actual lyrics, more so as it just was like concepts and, and books. So
come on, when you got a beautiful, half naked, talented
Show this
hip-hop
outfit,
artist,
huh?
you ain't got no plot. You just blah, 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 in the whole video, and we'll watch it.
Does it have a horror element to it?
no, I tried to do that. He didn't want to do that.
Okay.
I swear I tried to incorporate some like horror in it. He's like, Charlie, no, we don't need to do that just yet. So I was like, okay, all right. I tried.
Okay.
I tried, but it has its dark elements, it has its light elements, but it's very much different from probably any video I've ever shot.
Okay. Is it a mini feature too, like some of your other?
It's sexy.
It's sexy?
Let's just say
Okay. That was hot. Like, that was, your lyrics are amazing. I love your music, Charlie. I totally
Thank
do.
you.
So, we're going to, like, I had one more question for you. Coming from the major labels, what is the difference now? Because I heard you shout out, like, we independent. You know what I mean? Bed full of money. It's like, I know it's more money with independent, but what do you see as the main difference going from a major label to having an independent situation?
Well, a lot of it is the understanding of the business. Because I come from a major label background, because I was an artist, I can understand a lot of the artist griefs, you know, when it comes to business and things of that sort. And then I never tried to steer away from the artists that we have, their integrity. You know, I feel like some majors, you know, they try to push you in a direction that you may not necessarily be ready for. Like, for instance, one of our younger label mates that I forgot to mention earlier, Little George, he's only 16, and he's been rapping since he was 14. But, I mean, trying to get a 14-year-old to focus on something as serious as, you know, the music game is literally impossible.
Especially the business side
right.
of it.
So my partner just kind of, you know, molding him and guiding him along the way. Like, you have to be, when you're serious and when you're ready, then come to me. And when he really put his mind to it and really sat down and said, okay, this is what I want to do, he came out with an incredible record that's really, like, blowing up Detroit right now, called The Sauce.
The Sauce?
Yes.
Okay.
And we just had a big show in Detroit like 2 weeks ago, and he killed it. So, you know, a lot of it is just, I think, the control aspect of it, you know, and the people that you have running it behind the scenes aren't, you know, just executives that may or may not have an artistry background that can really give you that extra.
You, like, almost have a
advice.
mentorship. So I asked you about coaching earlier, but you really are doing that.
Yeah, I am. I'm
you're
like,
a mentor and a coach
for our, you know, the
for your
artists
label.
that we have, as well as still being an artist. So, you know, I kind of get both sides of it that I can give to them, and, you know, hopefully they take my advice.
So you
They usually do for the most part.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay. So I heard you say Little George is burning. What are you having any performances coming up, or
We just had a huge concert.
Okay.
2 weeks ago with Young Thug and oh God, who else was there? Rich Homie Quan, Migos. So that was like our first really big
Where was
show
that
as
at?
a unit. It was at a place in Detroit called the Majestic.
Okay.
One of the theaters there. So it was dope.
It was dope.
Yeah. It
I
was
wanna
dope.
see
And
that.
you know, it just gives us a chance to put on a show with the whole label where everybody can see what they need to work on and, you know, get a feel of what it's like to really, like, go on a serious tour.
And perform and go
that
on
too,
tour.
yeah.
So do you plan to go on a tour with this album?
Yes.
Of course,
Of
right?
course.
Of course. So how can we know more about what you have coming up, the B&B label? Like, how can our audience follow you? Like, how
Well,
do you...
I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Charlie Baltimore, no E on the Charlie. And you could follow Mr. B&B Records. That's my partner. And B&B Records Entertainment has its own website as well. So,
BNBentertainment.com?
yes.
Okay.
So.
And y'all can
we're
follow
easy to
me
find.
too. Charlie, can you tell my audience to follow me too?
Okay,
Your audience to
what's
follow
your
me too.
Instagram?
Cerise Styles. Serese Styles with the
Okay,
S.
you gotta follow my girl Cerise Styles over here.
Okay,
She's
cool.
stunting in the studio.
Standing in the studio. I like that. All right. I might have to change my theme song. when I come in here. All right, well, it was great having
Thank
you,
you.
Charlie.
Thanks for having me.
I totally enjoyed it. I look forward to your new music, your new projects, your new team, and everything that you got coming.
Thank you. It's nice meeting you guys.
Okay, thank you.